Hello, hold on, no, don't do it. What's up? Welcome to A to Z. We already into it, man. Welcome back to A to Z live with Oyanga and me, myself, Rodzilla. 52525. Man, I just realized that it's 52525. Okay, that's
Yeah, it
cool.
is.
All right, well, we back with A to Z. We're just talking about everything, man. We were just laughing a little bit. What's good, Ali? What you are still looking at
Man,
the date?
yeah, I was trying to see because somebody had put a post up that for the from what 5/20/2025 for the next 9 days. You're gonna be able to read it front and backwards. And I kept looking at it. I was like, nah, it's not gonna work that way. But
Nah, definitely not.
yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
definitely not. Yeah, man. A to Z, bro. We're talking about everything. We're talking about what I don't know, dead body, then small
yeah,
kids, rich kids, man.
yeah.
Everybody
It's
getting
like
soft, something like that.
not so much everybody getting soft, but it was just seeing that a lot of rich kids, a lot of rich people have all these soft ass children, and I'm not saying like soft like afraid to fight. Some of them are, but like just all in the drugs. Like they need therapy and all this other stuff for. It's like, really, why do you need therapy? Just go through the shit, and live. Or like the person who died at where I work at. Their their dad was I ain't gonna say well known, but he's a well established doctor, and this guy's doing crystal meth. It's like, really? You should know crystal meth is one of those bad drugs. I mean, I'm not saying that they're good drugs, but that's a bad one. That's crackhead status. So it's
For
you
crackhead
know,
status, for you those who don't know, crackhead status is what? You just too far gone. You just far like you mess with that, you're gonna be in trouble, right?
yeah, that's that low class drug. It's not the
Sure.
high stuff. It's not the high like cocaine or whatever is above that or in that level. This is like gutter drugs, you
Okay.
know. So that's basically what I'm saying. It's like, how are these people that are have those just have all that money, have children that fall so low, and that's what I'm talking about, Saul.
Sure. Yeah. Soft in how they handle the circumstances of life and things like that, and
Yeah,
resilient, having a resilient mindset that can oftentimes not be there in certain situations. That's kind of what you're getting at.
yeah, that's
Um,
what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
man, that's so much, man. I don't know. Rich kids. I don't know any rich kids. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, you know, you kind of have a cushy life, so you don't really have to develop resilience in certain ways because
Right.
just life doesn't put you in those types of situations where you have to develop that. Um, yeah, I just think it's that, man. They just being sheltered in a sense from certain types of things that life would present. Like someone who's not as fortunate, they gotta, fighting for stay in survival mode, so to speak. So being in survival
Yeah.
mode hardens you in a certain way.
Yeah, it does. It does. It gives you a different way to think about a lot of life. Things to not care about, things to not go towards because they're going to make you weaker than where you're at. You
Sure.
know. Uh, oh yeah, that's just one of the things that I was thinking about. Also, I have
Yeah,
a
man.
friend at work. Go ahead.
It just made me think about like the extremes of being in survival mode and the extremes of someone being like, uh, sheltered in the sense like what you're talking about, and like the pros and cons of it. Um, like when you're in such survival mode all the time, you don't get to become who you're really supposed to be in a sense because you're just always
Right.
trying to survive. Whereas on the other end, you do have the ability to kind of get into all your gifts that you can offer, because you're not thinking about surviving. You can just, ooh, what could I do, or what could I create? You have that time and that ability to do that.
And then when something happens, when something happens, because you're not in survival mode, it shakes your world so much, even though it wouldn't shake the regular person, another person.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know.
And on the flip side, when you spoil, you can the little things that the guys in survival mode, you don't even care about those either, because you could, like, oh, you can't get food, no problem. I just buy as much food as I want. You know what I mean? So it's definitely on both sides. But you were gonna switch gears, man. We could talk about that one. You're gonna switch gears to something else.
Well, yeah, I was thinking there's this guy at work, and he's from Honduras, and he was talking about he's on the phone and he's trying to talk to his wife, you know, and he said, if I sit on the phone with my wife for like 2 minutes and we're just not talking, I get off the phone. And I was like, man, you can't do that. You got to talk. He's like, but there's nothing to talk about. You know, she's, you know, talking about this and that, but it's not important. It's not logical, you know. And I'm like, dude, your wife is all the way in Honduras. I know we're different people, because he always says, you're American, we're from Honduras. It's different cultures. I was like, I understand that. It's a different culture, but at the same time, your wife is all the way in Honduras and you're not talking to her. Somebody else is going to talk to her, and she's going to be able to get that energy off. So you're going to need to talk to her. He's like, well, what is there to talk about? I was like, you can talk about anything, you know, and you don't really have to talk. All you got to do is bring up a subject and let her talk about it. You know, like, hey, remember that dress that you wore on that one day that we went out to eat? Yeah. And then let her talk, you know, bring up something just so she can talk. You shut up and listen, you know. You know, it's like you need that connection, because there's a dude out there. I know what I used to do. I used to talk to girls and just let them talk. It's like, and back then you didn't want me to talk to your girl and let her talk. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, that's going to end up bad for you, huh? All right.
Yeah. Okay. Your girls gonna taste a little something different.
Yeah, I mean, how are they just separated for like a year or two? Like, why is she?
Yeah, 10 months. 10 months. He came here. He came here to work. So
how long has he been here?
No, this is the second time. This is the second time here. But right now he's been here since February, March, since the beginning of March.
Oh, so he's still got a ways to go.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go, and he's not. They gave him 2 weeks to go back home, and he declined it because he says, I'm just going to go ahead and make this money and then leave in December. And I'm like, well, you do what you need to do, but you better figure something out to talk to your woman.
Yeah, you better talk to your woman, man.
You know, it's like, you ain't even got to talk. Just let her talk.
Yeah, for sure. That's because it's not even a lot of times with the ladies, as you know, it's not even just the physical use she's missing. It's that connection, you know, the connection, and you can certainly do a lot with that over the phone. I mean, oh no, that's a slippery slope.
He should listen. Why do you say a slippery slope? Why you say a slippery slope?
Like you said earlier, like some dude's gonna talk to her. She's gonna want to, you know, I don't know what their relationship is like when they're together, but you know, the emotional connection, like just having the conversations with some other person, like you said earlier. I mean, slippery slope in that way by him saying, what is there to talk about? I'm not gonna like. That's a poor attitude. I think to have with your wife, man. Poor. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah,
I wouldn't take that route.
He's a young dude too, though.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah, and even like he's the oldest of all his brothers, but I'm still like, dude, there's a different part. You can't be hard all the freaking time, you know. Or
when you said he was 20 something, first thing I thought of was like, oh yeah, he thinking he invincible and that she just gonna just be there. Like I know that guy.
Yeah,
I've been that guy.
that's. I think we all have at one
Yeah,
point.
for sure.
Like, nigga, I am me. She ain't going no motherfucking where.
Right?
Yeah,
For
but you
sure.
know that shit don't work.
Nah.
Right? Work for a second in your mind, but not in real life.
Not in real life. Yeah, you're doing all sorts of emotional damage to your lady that you don't even know about.
Exactly.
That I'm just finding out about now, like 15, 20 years later. Like, oh,
I know.
no, I shouldn't even act it like that. That's crazy. Like, really?
Yeah,
All right,
I think
I guess.
sometimes. Go ahead.
No, it's just that, man. Just thinking about, how I used to be in my
I
20s and stuff.
think sometimes we have shows, but we're listening to the wrong we're listening to the wrong people. You know?
Huh? Go. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. I'm talking about like I'm sitting here like you go online and there's shows and there's these people are like 20, 30 years old doing podcasts, right? And they're talking about
Yeah.
relationships, 20 and 30 years old. Them ain't the motherfuckers that need to be on doing the podcast about relationships.
Oh, on relationships? Yeah.
Right. It should be a person that's like 50, 60, 50, 60 years old. Somebody who has been in a relationship, been married for 20 some odd years.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think you're right because, I mean, that's the only way you really get the experience of what it's like, and that's, or the, wisdom by going through it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, we don't even listen to our elders. I think we've talked about this before. Like the elders aren't around. Like I don't have the elders around to tell the stories and, how things used to be to kind of, talk about what marriage is like to the little kids and, to the young people when they get married, to kind of give them some guidance on, hey, this is what you should be doing. But like you say, we listen to Instagram and podcasts, relationship experts who have no experience.
None.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're really disconnected with that part of what's it? I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say is saying that part of life. That's too broad.
Culture. I mean, culture is like a little bit, or maybe that's
our culture. See, and I would like to say culture. And the reason why I don't is because our culture is so mixed up. But yeah, we are disconnected from our deep rooted culture. So now we're mixing and blending this new style with the old style, but the old style is being kicked out. So this new style culture is not the culture that I'm talking about. Because the young people think they know way more than the old people, which is goofy. Now, I'm not saying that when I was growing up, I knew that I did not know more than what my grandmother and my grandfather and my aunts and uncles knew. I knew I didn't know more about life. Now, I might have knew more about a specific subject, a specific subject that they don't know, but as far as life, taking care of a girl, taking care of older people, not taking care of older people, but taking care of, even something as small as taking care of my vehicle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Being just, I knew I didn't know that much. I mean, more than they knew. But now it seems like all the young people is like, yeah, y'all old niggas don't know shit. Y'all don't know nothing. And they haven't experienced life yet, And I see it when I'm walking around at work. I see it when I'm looking at the internet, listening to these people trying to talk about politics, And I'm like, how are y'all, you're not doing research. And I seen this one video, and the reporters, and they got to be young reporters, you know. Um, they was trying to, I forgot the guy's name, but they was trying to corner one of the White House staffers and question him. And he was like, okay, you're questioning me about this, but do you even know the difference between this and this? And none of the reporters did. He was like, you could have did 72 hours. I mean, you had 72 hours to do your research, and you did no research, and you don't know the difference between these two things, you know. And he was like, so let me educate you about these two. You know. And
Sure.
when he did, it made him, in my opinion, look dumb as hell and weak, because they didn't
Right.
even, like, how are you going to report something when you have no clue about what's on the inside of it? You
Yeah.
can't you report.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just agreeing. I was just gonna say, yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm
I
good,
was just
because I was
yeah, that's
starting to talk in
funny.
circles.
No, you're good. I mean, I think you're right. I don't know where we started from, but I definitely agree with your point about doing some basic research before you're trying to question these politicians and stuff. But I think that's how they like it, that's not really knowing much about it. What were we talking about before we said?
Yeah,
So
we,
we
we
said
was
that.
on everything. We was on
Yeah, man.
everything.
Yeah, man.
But so what does this person want to talk about right here?
Me?
That's up there. I can't see. Nah, the person who's viewing. What does that viewer want to talk about?
I don't know. Let's see here. Comments. What's going on? Welcome to the show, viewer. We just sitting here talking about politics and education a little bit. And
And
welcome to the
relationships.
show.
Don't forget that. We was talking about relationships and old people.
Yeah, relationships and old people. I mean, that's certainly something that we miss in the culture, man. Just being able to have those older people relate to us and distill information to us. But we're kind of those old heads now, man. I've been married 25 years. How many years have you been married?
24. How
24
about
years.
who
Yeah,
is
are
that?
you
I
married?
can't see.
I can't see. It's not showing me. They didn't really comment here.
Okay, cool. Then
All
I
right,
guess
cool.
you're
Yeah,
here to listen. But hey, whenever you want to jump in, please jump in.
yeah,
We'll chop it up with you.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. So that's 50 years of combined marital experience, pretty much. And I know
Right.
I jumped into it willy nilly, but I've learned so much. Just the communication piece. That's huge. I just didn't realize how much. That's one thing my wife and I talk about a lot. How much we got into our relationship not really knowing what marriage is about, and people say you're in love, but it's not. Loving it has so little to do with the day to day, because
Right. Right.
it's just
I
managing kids. We had the bills, and it's just can you be a good team? Can you communicate? Can you resolve conflict and keep moving on? Because it's a lot of conflict, especially the first 7 years or so.
Yeah. When they also say is marriage is a business, and I like your word team better, but when they say
Well, it's that too.
it's a
Business.
business, yeah, partnership. We
Yeah.
we really should take that part into account, because some people get married, and this was one of my. It was like, if you're doing a scale of yays and nays, one of my yays, the highest was like, oh yeah, I can be able to have sex with one person forever. And as much of it all I want. I don't have to go out and search.
Yeah, that did
But
not work out that way.
yeah. It's like, wait a minute, that's something that we need the old people to tell us that's not really the goal.
No,
that's not
no.
the goal. That's not the purpose. But yeah. Yeah, that's just it. We got to get our priorities on what marriage actually is.
I mean, what is it that since that's not your party, unlimited sex is off the table. So just it's off the table almost immediately. So almost immediately, bro.
Yeah.
So what is like a goal then? Like you get in this marriage, you're gonna look at this lady. I don't know, you're looking at 20, 30, 40 years together. Like, this is what we're gonna do, 30, 40 years together. So what should we be looking at? How should we be looking at this thing then?
I think that we should be looking at it as a partnership, 100%. This is where I'm going. This is where you're going. Does it match? How can I support you in your goals? How can you support me in my goals? Am I willing to give up everything for you? Are you willing to give up everything for me? You know, it's how.
You think you should be giving up? Do you think you should be giving up some stuff, like everything?
No, I think that it depends on that team's goal.
Okay. All right.
You know,
whatever the thing. Okay. Whatever it takes for the team to get where they need to go, you got to give up
exactly
whatever you need to. And that's gonna be different for every couple, right? Every team.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. No, because somebody might say, I'm a scientist and I'm making $100 million every 6 months. You know, I need somebody here at my house to clean. Are you willing to do that? You know, I need to make sure you manage my food. Are you willing to do that? Or a person could say, well, I'm a person who likes to do a specific thing. Do you mind if I like to do that specific thing? You know, and can you support me to do this? You know, those are things that should come up in the beginning. And those are things that people should, I feel some people lack that understanding of it's an actual team. You're building a team. And the reason why I think people lack it at a young age, because a lot of people don't plan. They're not planning their future. They see where they want to be. I want to have $1 million. Well, how the fuck do you want to have your $1 million? Right. How are you planning to get your $1 million? Well, I'm just going to go out here and I'm going to work. That means nothing. That's not a goal. You know, I mean, well, excuse me, it's a goal. It's not a plan. You know,
for sure. It's a goal, not a plan. I have a buddy of mine who's got a teenage guy, 18 years old, talking about how adult he is. And he said he's ready to move out. And he's like, all right, but what are you gonna do for a living? Well, I'm gonna just wake up and trade and make $5,000 a day. And that's it. That's the plan.
How much is he making?
No, he says he's already making it, but no one's seeing the money yet. So that's his plan. He's gonna make $5,000 a day as an 18-year-old. He's just gonna leave the house, and that's what he's doing.
Oh man. Hey, you know, some people should probably watch that Cosby Show episode with Theo and Heathcliff. Remember that one where he's like, oh, you're gonna go out and you're gonna get a job? Well, you gotta pay rent. So
the one where he gave him the money and he was taking the money from him. Yeah. I just saw that one the other day, like a week or so ago. It came across my phone again.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that for a while, but I remember it.
That's funny that you brought that up, man. Yeah, he was like, yeah, I think he gave him like $500, and then he so all right, you got to pay rent. Took a little bit. You got to eat. Took a little bit, and then Theo had like a little bit of money left, and then he said, "You got to have a girlfriend," and he took the last bit.
All of it.
He took all of it. Like, you got a girlfriend? Oh, that's a wrap. You got no more money left, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
And go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, and I think that it takes a little bit for people to really understand that once you leave the house, everything is on you. You know, so that is a good like going to college, I guess, getting out the house, going to the dorm, I guess is a good a good starter for a child to start getting that responsibility, even if their parents are paying for almost everything themselves. You know what I mean? But
sure.
you're on your own right now. Go live life. Even though you're still being room and board, but now you gotta feed yourself. Oh, you got a girlfriend? Now you gotta go pay your own money for your girlfriend. You gotta get
Right.
gas or some sort of transportation. That's a good thing, but I believe, excuse me, we should the culture should start pushing that a lot earlier than college.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. Your
14,
my son's getting
15.
ready to go to college. Yeah, that'll be good. My son's getting ready to go to college this year. You already have 2 children that have gone to college and are taking another step now in their education, and they both stayed, close to home initially.
Correct.
And my son is going to be close to home also. How do you feel that kind of helped them out? Do you think that was a good move based on what you've seen? Other parents around you where their kids went further away? Do you think that was a good move to kind of be close to home
Well,
initially?
I would think that it depends on it's situational.
Sure.
Being close, it's more of a. I think it's just what they call it's comforting. It's comforting that they're close because you don't have the anxiety in the parent. Oh, I wonder if my child is okay. I wonder if if they need any help, can I run and go get them? Or so that right there is less stress in comparison to my thoughts because it hasn't happened. But I do have a daughter that's in Ohio, and I'm in Vegas. So there is the thing to where now that person has to be self-sufficient. What can you do for yourself if they're surviving, if they're making it? Just that part. They have to be able to be when they're far away, they get a little bit more responsibility. Actually, a whole lot more responsibility, even if you're paying for stuff, because they can't just run back home.
Right.
And
for sure.
I think if they do go far away, I'm not talking about your child, or I'm talking about everybody's child. If they do go far away, you should a parent should start winging them from that. Like, oh, you're hungry? And nigga, you need a job. you need some new clothes. You need some laundry detergent. You're gonna have to figure that out. You know what I mean? So I mean, at least that they'll start doing. And if they're falling too far, then you save them, but not save them right off the bat. Go ahead and let them suffer for a few months, or get that need, because basic that with that UBI, that's gonna kill a lot of that provider instinct, and that's providing for self is going to kill a lot of that, even in women. It's going to kill it in men, but it's going to kill it a lot in women as well. So that's the scary part for the future for me.
Man, you hit that is a scary one. I mean, that because you see a lot of it dying already. You see a lot of it has already died already. So that's a scary one for sure. I guess that's a case by case basis. I mean, I don't know if we want to go down that rabbit hole of the male spirit dying.
You got a shovel. You got a shovel, man. So you can go ahead and start digging.
But it is so it is so closely related with what we're talking about, because we were talking about marriage and the family, which marriage and how you communicate and how it's a team, and part of that is raising children, because you partner up with children and having good communication on how you're going to do that before you do it is important. Because my wife and I ran into a lot of issues with parenting styles. Like she wants to do it this way, I want to do it that way, so that can create conflict. And then just the roles within the marriage, like male versus female, because we've, or I mean, I guess it shouldn't be male or female, but there's oftentimes put into the male psyche, or in our culture, that the male has to be the provider, and that was taken, a lot of that was taken away when it came to welfare. And you mentioned in UBI before, so the welfare did the same thing back in the day, and still continues to disrupt the family and disrupt that family unit and decrease the role of a male's role in a female's life. The role of a male in a female's life has been reduced because of it. And also on top of it, you had the women's right movement. We really want to be honest with it, which also made on the flip side the females feel as if they didn't need the males as much either. So it kind of made this perfect recipe to make the family unit weaker over time, and that's when we see a lot of the communication from the older adults not being passed down to the children, because now they aren't there because both parents are working and the grandparents become younger, so they don't have the wisdom to even pass on anymore, because grandparents are 30, 40 years old now. So it becomes this whole thing that you can see a clear thread of how the communication specifically within the family unit, and that not being there, how it leads to a total degradation of a society in a sense.
Well, let me point out one other thing though, because as far as I guess it's a couple other things, but as far as the grandparents being younger now, I don't think that's really an issue. I think the issue is because if you remember when, like years ago, and even sometimes like somewhere close, where the people had 10, 11, 12 children. Mm-hmm. And they started when they were like 14, 15, having children. Sometimes started 16, 17, but they all started in their teens when they was having children. They have 10 children, have 11, 12 children. So by the time that person is in their 30s, they are grandparents. And that was back then. They were already becoming grandparents. But the difference is the culture was different back then.
Sure.
There were older people there. They had a sense of community to where it was like, okay, baby, don't do that. Go ahead. You can go do this. I'll help you. You have your sisters. They'll help you raise your children.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing too, like when I say younger, it's also that the grandparents are younger. It's not just their age; they're younger emotionally and less equipped and less resilient because the culture was different. So back then, when those societies, they were growing up on a more of a rugged lifestyle. They didn't have the conveniences that we have now. So kids didn't have the luxury to sit in the room until 16, 17, 18 playing video games and not maturing and getting into life earlier. Like we talked about before, like how you used to have apprenticeships and things like that,
right?
When kids were younger, so they learned these skills earlier in life so they could be more productive when they were 17, 18. And now we've kind of pushed that back. And you made a point earlier about we should make it younger where these kids are learning these skills instead of waiting until college years, because we've kind of pushed the age of maturity off a little bit. And that's what I mean. So that, kind of being immature longer. Yeah. Yeah, man. So.
Oh yeah, that was another thing.
Yeah.
And it was hold on a second.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm all close today.
No, you're good, bro. You got a recording going?
You can hear it?
Yeah, it's a delay on it.
Yeah, it is a delay. I was trying to put this out a little bit louder so just in case somebody want to hear your voice as well in the house,
Okay.
because you're bringing up some good points, and it's not
Yeah,
just
man.
me, but
Yeah, it's all
that's
good.
me. That's
Yep.
me right there. But the other thing was that the difference, and you are 100% right with the welfare and how it pushed out, and then the women's movement at the same thing. But the UBI, the Universal Basic Income,
hmm
that right there hits everything in the mouth. I think it's the nail in the coffin, because
Sure.
it's not going to be looked upon as bad, because
Yes, you're absolutely
everybody
right.
gets it.
Yes.
Welfare looks like you're lazy as fuck. You can go be doing some work.
Yeah.
But if they make
Well,
it universal basic income across the board, where everybody gets a little
sure.
bit of money,
Checkmate.
it's not going to be it's not going to be looked upon as bad, and people are going to be still. I don't have to provide for myself. Somebody else is going to provide for myself. And then as soon as they snatch that from them, years, like generations down the line, those people are going to struggle, because they're not going to have that sense of providing. Or if they do have that sense of providing, it's going to only be from the elite few. You know what I mean? It's going to be the elite people, because they are they are going to remain providers, because they're not going to be on universal basic income.
Yep.
And
And their survival is predicated upon the others' non-survival, right?
exactly.
Yeah. So it's a whole different mindset on that side as to why
Yeah.
they would be around. But that's man, that's an interesting point, Ali. That is definitely checkmate, and I think that's what this new fifth industrial, whatever, this new industrial revolution represents. Yeah, it represents checkmate of all these different systems that are coming to an end, because it's the last. If you look at like every industry, like all the different things have been taken from the people in a sense, and then being distributed back. So you could look at water, medicines, which came from foods and plants and things. All this stuff has been taken from the land and now being redistributed back to us. And this is the final system that will take the last straw, which is the ability to to want to thrive on your own. And that, what else is there then?
Right.
Yeah, that's the last thing you can control, just the will to survive.
And that's horrible.
That's crazy.
That's horrible, because the will to survive is going to be on the industry, whatever industry it is. I don't want to say government, because I don't know what the government's going to look like. It's going to be
corporations, because the government is a corporation.
Right.
That's the thing. So all the other corporations feed it. So technically it's one big corporation.
Right.
The government itself is ran. The government, is ran by a corporation. So it's that. And that word corp is corpse, right? Corp is corpse.
Death.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's right in the language always, right? I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah. And again, since we done threw language in there, that's how come there's so many different languages that we like. English is an awesome language if you understand the definitions. If you can actually understand definitions of these words, you can manipulate and use things to create better.
Sure.
Like, instead of saying, "Oh man, this is cray cray," do you really like, or "Oh, that shit is," even saying the word shit.
Yeah.
That shit is fire. Really? That shit is fire. If you use the definition, if you use those actual words in definition, shit, first off, isn't really in the definition, I don't believe. But that feces is fire. You're thinking feces is fire. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
doesn't make sense at all.
And it's science too, bro. Like the word words is the word swords. It's an
Yeah.
anagram. It's the same word, right? And
Yep.
they say you have the power to speak
Swords and
life or death
words.
with your tongue. Yeah, swords are words. And when you speak them, your tongue sends a vibration that cuts through the ether like a sword. And it's a vibration that someone else can hear. So it's just really technically science. You really can create with these words. So, and they tell
Hey,
us all the time what we're creating with these words, which is the program, right? So,
and they told us in the very freaking beginning of, I believe, a lot of different religions. How did God
sure.
bring stuff to life? Spoke it into existence.
Spoke it, which is a
Yeah.
vibration and
Yeah.
yeah. And vibrations are energy, and everything is energy, and even matter is energy. Our bodies is matter, right? And what does
Right.
Einstein say? Energy equals matter times the speed of light. So energy is equal to matter. So everything is energy and vibration. So we're just vibrating at different rates.
Wow. Did you just throw something in there that sparked something? Energy is equal to matter.
Hey, Einstein
So
told us that.
the unseen is equal to the seen. As so above, there's so below. I say it right so I can get it.
E equal MC squared. As above, so below. As within, so without. Yeah,
There you go.
for sure.
As above.
Yeah, man. I think that equation goes over our head a lot, but
yeah,
it literally says energy equals mass times the speed of light. So that means your body is energy. They're equal.
yeah.
Right.
They're
So
equal.
and you can
not the same,
not
but
the same, equal. Yeah, just different rates of speed that separated out that makes it look different because it's different rates of speed. And it's no different. Like I be thinking sometimes, bro. I was thinking the other day, like when you I was watching a candle, and when you watch smoke leave the candle, you see the smoke, and then all of a sudden you don't see it anymore. But where does it go? It's there. You just can't see it. It's just vibrating or at a rate below your perception, but it's still there. And same thing with everything. So that's even with a spirit. So yeah, man, it's crazy. I don't know what we're talking about.
Nah, dude, you took it somewhere. Yeah, you gonna make me start having to think.
Think about how things how the invisible turns into the visible right before our eyes all the time, man.
Yeah, man. I was thinking about the words where in the beginning of the Bible where it says God put the firmament to separate the waters from below from the waters from above, and then it changes. It's like we got the waters below. I understand the oceans or whatever, but then what are the waters above? So the earth is surrounded by the ozone layer. What water is above the ozone layer? What are our firmament or our covering? Because we see the waters below. And then it made me think of flat earthers, which is a hell of a topic, and I don't even want to get in there. But
hey, man, I don't either, bro. I mean, but I would say this about it. There's been multiple depictions throughout time of what this place we live in looks like, and I'll just say it might be different from what NASA says, and that's as far as I could go with it because I don't really know. I just know that
right.
I've read and seen and heard that it might be different from that. How different? I can't verify any of it.
Right. And
I've gone way down the rabbit holes.
Right. And then if one of the things you got it, okay. When one of the things it changes, it makes the deeper part of mine. I ain't gonna say yours, but it makes the deeper part. It challenges because it's like, okay, one of the maps that I saw, right,
Sure.
of the flat earthers. It has all of what we see in the globe. Then it has um like the thing around it, and then it has other little pods or whatever around it, right?
Yeah. You talking about like with the ice ring map?
Yeah. It has all that stuff around it, and it's like if that's what it is, if that is a true thing, how is our like? It's hard to imagine everything has got to change. Like the whole thoughts of,
Is
babe,
this, is this the one you talking about right here? Is that the one you talking about?
yeah,
Okay. See if I can blow it up bigger. Okay. So if that's for real,
yeah.
okay.
And well, no. I seen one that was different than this. That was there, but it had each of these little the outer rings.
Yeah.
It had those outer rings in other little balls.
Okay. I'm trying to
You
maybe
know,
maybe it'll pop up. And none of these look like it.
no, but it still was like, okay. Say you got the where you're at. Go
Okay.
go back there. Go back
Oh,
there
okay. Let me go back. Let me go back.
real quick. Petri dishes. There you go.
So is that one good enough to pull up? Let me see. I'll pull up one little.
Yeah, none of this is it. Go back to the top.
This one. That's all I got
Any of
here.
those. Any of those.
And then this one right here.
Yep, that one's perfect.
Okay.
Okay,
See if I
so
can get it.
when
So I can get it bigger.
well, even if you can't, we can see it right now, right? So you got the middle one. The way it's depicted on the other one, you have all these just like that, but the first circle is is a world or a realm, right? Then you got the land bridge going from there to Hades, right? Because there's a Hades on there that's right outside of the first ice ring, but there's a land bridge that goes over there. And then once you go there, that's in its own petri dish. Then you have the other ones, like all of these circles. I mean, all of these landforms are somehow in a different petri dish. Now, there's other things, but we see that as a world. This is our world, right? And if this is being our world, and there's other ones are there and they're alive right now, and they have the Nephilim and the Anunnaki that are running around being gatekeepers in each area, uh, which would is it was just, if that's true, just if it's true, how are our minds thinking? You know,
I
it's
don't know.
just, now you zip me out, dude. You have to get back in here.
happened there? It just can you hear me? It says you're muted.
Yeah, you jumped out of here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It kicked me out and it said my computer wasn't gonna hear the sound for a bit to restart your computer.
Oh,
What in the world? Yeah, that was weird. Maybe they
yeah,
didn't like us talking about that map. I don't know.
yeah. That's probably what it was. We was getting ready to go deep, and the system was like, "Oh no, they
No,
about to smash the word." Their mindset is going to change. They're going to figure us out.
yeah, bro. Too deep for them. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we be doing that.
I saw man, the whole ice wall thing, it was weird. It was wild. And I went down what was that? Explorer with Hollow Earth and dang, what's his name? I can't even remember now. I went down those holes a few years ago. But I don't know, man. I just think you think it's something different than what we've been told, at least.
Oh hell yeah, 100%. Because
Okay.
I like the one thing that I understand because I swim, right?
Okay.
When you go through, when you want to jump into the water and you're going for a race,
Yeah.
and you're trying to get some good distance and as fast as you can, you don't dive like, okay, hold on, you don't dive like this.
Yeah.
You dive like this to break through the water so you can slice, right?
Sure.
But now you can jump off the high dive and go straight in with little splash, but have something like when they do, sometimes they break their hands like this or they dive in like that just to break up the water a little bit so it doesn't hit them that hard, right? Or when you do really high base jumping, they throw a rock in there first so that it can break up the water so it's a little bit softer, right? When you
Sure.
go in. So I understand when they're trying to bust through the firmament, if that's what it is, that you might want to take an angle so you can maintain the speed because you don't have that much gas, right? But they don't ever show where they break through the firmament. You know what I mean? Because it goes up like this. The space shuttle goes up, it levels off, and it goes across the sky like this. You know what I mean? All of them, they don't never go straight up like and break through the firmament. You know, which they could.
Sure.
And then you got the idea where they all of that information that they used and technology that they used 40, 50, 60 years ago, right? To get on the moon the first time, it's all gone. And we have advanced so much from there, and we don't have the technology to get back to the moon. It makes that part doesn't make no sense. That part doesn't make any sense. If I did something great and I had it written down, I'm not throwing that stuff away. And I'm a little guy. This is the government.
Right? This when I heard that, bro, I was like, they can't be serious with this.
Yeah.
And not only that, now we're borrowing rocket technology from SpaceX now. Like how long have they been in business?
2 years. I know it's been longer than that, but yeah.
They've been in business longer than NASA.
They have?
But no. See, you were shocked when I asked you the question that way. No, they have not. So how are they like better? Like, how do you get enough money, research, time, data to get better at going to outer space than someone? I don't know. How do you get leapfrogged in outer space?
You shouldn't. There's no way possible. That's why I don't think it's real.
That's like no one else is thinking this is crazy that we're now borrowing space technology from a startup. And we've been doing it.
Damn, you just said a startup.
Yeah.
Right, the professionals.
Yeah, I couldn't take it when I heard it. When they were like, yeah, right. we're gonna be sending astronauts to space in SpaceX. I was like, okay, all right, guys. No, I guess I'm the only one saw it that way. But
wow.
So Okay, hold on. I lost my point because you made me go there with him. Yo, so what I understand too, though, is about we were talking about frequencies and stuff earlier. That we're kind of locked into this realm based on the frequency, and you have to get to a higher frequency to get out of here. So I guess what I'm saying is like these physical bodies that we have can't go out of here. I don't think they're not designed to.
No,
like these bodies are for here.
I exactly. They're for this realm.
Yeah, they can't like go somewhere else. Not physically. Not in Survive. I mean, I don't think we could engineer stuff.
To
make this body go there.
See, and that's the part. What if this is where the thinking changes? Because that's where I was thinking in order to make it match.
Okay.
What if it's all a physical thing? So like if you want to go to the other realm, it's not really a realm, it's a different petri dish. You just have to get over the ice wall. Once you get over the ice wall, if you can get past the Anunnaki and Nephilim, those giants and the gatekeepers of the next realm, you know what I mean? Because when Jesus, I think what it was Jesus died, he was sacrificed on the cross, then he went to hell, came back with the keys, right? Or did he go to hell, come back with the keys, and get murdered?
He went to hell and got the keys down there.
Right.
And the power over death.
Was he dead though when he got him? Or did he go get him before he died?
No, I'm pretty sure he was dead first. This was after he died on the cross.
What if in that sense it was all metaphor?
Well, it's all metaphor for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, because most of those things, most of the stuff he's spoken parables. What if that is just a parable being relayed and he actually went over the ice bridge? He traveled over the ice bridge, went to Hades, physically went there and said, hey, he made a deal. You know, made a deal and then came back and was like, yo, I got the keys, son. You know, they won't be coming over here snatching us like vampires did anymore. You know, but there are so many different realms, so many different things. I'm just saying.
Like,
because it's all fantasy right now because we don't know whether it's true or not.
Sure. What do we know is true then? Okay, what do we know that is true?
We're standing on the ground.
We're standing on the ground, and we know the science of like if heaven was here, you wouldn't be able to see it, right? So let's just say like we know that. Okay,
don't know that.
What do we? Okay, let's look at this. The science of what is it? Alchemy, and they get into spirits. And when they say like when you distill alcohol, like you distill potatoes and make vodka, you distill the spirit. You distill the spirit out of it. So the spirit is like what goes up into this tube, and then it is in the form of a vapor or like a gas, and then it evaporates into liquid, and we drink the liquid. So that's releasing that spirit from it. So we know so I guess what I'm saying is when your body dies, your spirit leaves, it's the invisible part of you that doesn't go anywhere. It's invisible that's being released out of your body, and it's right here around you. So it goes into this invisible realm. So that is like, I guess we could say a scientific way of how a spirit is distilled, because this is a whole distillation process that we're in, and you can look at it on multiple ways. So distillation as a petri dish. So you go here, you go through hard times and tribulations or whatever you want to call it, and then your spirit grows and it is distilled out of your body. or you could, your spirit becomes stronger here, and then when it leaves, the invisible part of you leaves and it goes to a different realm, but the realm is right here because it's the spirit that leaves the body, and every spirit permeates everything. So this
What
is why they say,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
This is why they
I was
say,
gonna say this is why they say God is everywhere. This is why everything is everywhere. Because once you're in that invisible realm, it's you're no longer like this physical body, so you're no longer contained. So you could then have access to being to everywhere. Then I think because it's like you're a spirit. You get what I'm saying? So you
I
can go to
do.
those other realms and access them in a way that the physical body cannot. So I'm saying that you can't access those places physically, but once you leave this body and become something else, what you truly are, which is the spirit, you can go to all those other realms because they're not like physical realms like this one.
What if they are?
Okay, go for it. They are.
Okay. What if they are? And it's just the ability to create and see opulence, because
Say it
some
again. Say it
people,
again.
the
Say that one more time.
ability. I said, what if they are? It's just you have to have the ability to see and create the opulence. If you've never been in a higher level, because there's people at a higher level than us right
Okay,
now,
I get what you're saying. I get
walking
what
the
you're
earth,
saying.
and like, if I never went to go see how a millionaire actually lives, walk through a millionaire's house, uh, see their connections. I'm only seeing it through. I mean, I've seen it physically, but some people never get a chance to touch it, smell it, taste it. They only get to see it as fantasy through TV, and it's not real to them at all. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
sure.
Some people who live like in middle class, they say, okay, I do have an uncle that was a rich person. So when I get out of this area, I'm not going to go lower than middle class because this is the class that I'm at. But I can strive for where my uncle lived because I've seen that life. That's the life I
Okay.
want to live. So the higher you go, or the further left, the further right you go, because I can stay at my level, but now I want to be a farmer. Let me go over here and look what a farmer at my level is doing. Oh, now I've never knew it. I see it. I can create that now in my life. And the reason why I'm bringing up the creation part is this. A lot of people at my job have created, and I talk about creation a lot, right? And I actually see it. And the latest one that had created something was this guy named Ryan Spencer. Excuse me, I don't know if I'm allowed to say people's names like that, but I'm saying it anyway. He ended up coming over to our job, and he was like, yo, man, I want to do this. I want to be able to travel, but I got to get to management and all this other stuff first and whatever, right? So he comes in to like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. This dude is already a manager. He jumped into the manager's position, and he wasn't a manager. He was just a regular guard, and he created that. And I'm totally seriously, I'm happy for the dude because I wasn't trying to get there. If I wanted it, I would have beat him out because my energy is higher than his, I believe, but he has high energy, and I'm there longer, and I'm in the position that I actually want because it allows me to do the type of traveling that I want to do. You see what I mean? So I created my position at this place. I've seen other people create their positions at this place. I've seen other people say, you know what? I just want to be here and I don't want to do nothing else. And they are secure at the low level that they are because they're not willing to push a little bit harder. But it's because they're comfortable. They're not trying to create anything. They created the space that they're in right now, and they are loving their life right now. So it's cool. I watch the people create stuff. That same ability to create stuff is the ability that some abilities, when it comes to creation, you have to be able to see what you're creating. You have to believe it's real. You know, and sometimes it takes seeing, being in that environment, being around the knowledge of it in order to create it more in your life. So going to heaven, I don't know if it's a sideways plane, but heaven is always up, right? The direction of heaven is up. The spirit, the stele, like you even said, you got to go up. What if we don't understand the ladder?
Well, it's definitely a lot of it. Yeah.
We've been tricked to not believe or not understand how to get to heaven. You know, maybe we have to have a clean body, mind, and spirit to physically go to heaven, because you got to remember this. There are people in the Bible. There are people in the Bible that have not died and went to heaven. God just snatched them up and said, here, come on. So you don't have to die. You can go to heaven in your physical body.
Okay. We're gonna have to leave it there. We're gonna have to leave it there, bro, because I can't even tackle that one. That's at least an hour conversation. Hey, right? Write that down, bro. Yeah. Okay. Oh man, you love. That's a good cliffhanger. I got to get out of here, bro. But yeah, man, that is something to think about. Yeah, that is true. That is true. A lot of people thinking they're gonna get raptured up too these days. So we'll see it again soon. All right, man. Well, a great one. So I guess we're out for 2 weeks.
I'll get back to this 26th.
Okay, cool deal. 26th of June.
Yep.
Okay, cool, bro. Well, safe travels. If I'll holler at you between now and then. And
did you say Valhalla? I'm not a Viking.
What did I say, Valhalla?
That's what I thought you said.
I said, I'll
oh, you said I'll holler.
I'll holler at you, bro. I mean, Valhalla. I wasn't supposed to say that on camera.
All right.
I'll let you, bro.
All right, God.
One love, holla.
Holla.